This video is brought to you by Grams28. With over 20,000 miles on my odometer since January, I can easily say I've put my everyday carry to the ultimate test. And let me tell you, I took some notes. Being home now with a fresh perspective, I made some improvements as to what I hold on a daily basis. That being said, I'll be sure to link all my 2025 EDC tech essentials in the description below, and allow me to start with the things that I carry either in my pockets or in my sling. Number 1 on my list is the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which has replaced my beloved Z Fold 6 for the time being. I've been using this phone as my daily since unpacked, and in my first impressions video, which I'll link at the end of this one, I called it potentially just another flagship, which is a bit of an insult for a phone that has been proclaimed more than once as the king of flagships. What I tried to convey here is that Samsung has settled in some aspects of the Ultra, which doesn't necessarily make it a bad phone. In fact, this is a fantastic device, and I'll keep using it because I enjoy it a lot, and I use it as a benchmark against all other phones that I'm currently testing. The Asus Zenfone 12 Ultra being one of them. Funny, in my recent EDC short that I posted, someone said, "Bro, just casually picking up 3 phones." And if you're someone who does this for a living, I'd say this is very much the norm. I have to be able to test and compare on the fly, and if you think this is excessive, trust me. There are creators out there who carry a lot more than me on a daily basis for the same reason. Anyway, so far my favorite aspect of the Zenfone is perhaps this specific color, because I am yet to put it through its paces. This is a $1,200 phone that comes with all the 8 elite bells and whistles, plenty of RAM and storage, and a price that makes it a tad cheaper than the Ultra, but not affordable by any standard, so I have very high expectations. This is also one of the rare breeds out there that still boasts a headphone jack. By the way, if you end up enjoying this video, subscribe, because why not? The third phone that I carry with me is the iPhone 16 Pro, which I treat like the keys to my house.
I'm at the studio right now.
It is always with me, and it's a reliable little beast with, unfortunately, a questionable battery life, but it is here to stay. It is yet another phone to compare others to, and it is my window to iMessage, which is very much my family communication hub at this point. Both the S25 Ultra and the iPhone are tucked inside a Pitaka case. You see, I try to stay away from bulky cases for the most part, and all latest phones are durable enough to mostly have to worry about scuffs and scratches, which is where Pitaka comes into place, being super thin and lightweight. In the case of the Ultra, this thin aramid fiber case also adds the missing 2-2 magnet functionality, allowing me to attach and prop a ring, or at the same time swap my muffed wallet between the phones. By the way, the muffed wallet and stand have yet to find a real competitor when it comes to magnetic wallets that also serves as a stand. I keep trying other solutions, but none can beat this guy for 2 reasons. It is lightweight, which when snapped to the back of the phone makes a difference in the pocket. It can also engulf more than 3 cards and some cash at the same time, being a bit stretchy and forgiving. All that in combination with the propping functionalities makes it a must for me. I do carry a secondary wallet in my backpack though, and I'll get to that in a moment. But before that, I'd like to point out the muffed tripod stand, which on most days lives in my backpack or sling, as the most convenient way to position my phone to take, let's say, a family photo, or use as a tripod for social media content. It takes little to no space, and it's helpful for anyone regardless of whether you are a content creator or not, as you can literally place your phone anywhere. Another just as important must for me is the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer glasses. As convenient as they are for grabbing precious family moments, they are even better for listening to music or podcasts, and in most cases for me to conduct conversations while moving around.
So let me get back to the studio at home, and then I'll call you back.
These glasses have almost completely replaced the need to carry earbuds. They sound fantastic, especially if you put on a hat, and the mics are some of the best out there, beating any earbuds or headphones for that matter. Oh, and let's not forget that these are classic Ray-Bans, so they ooze style and are great sunglasses at the end of the day. But there is something to consider. Now, the price here being very competitive means that something, has to give. And out of the box, the lenses do not have any hard coating, which to me resulted in a deeper groove after a very simple drop on the floor. And I had to replace mine. So keep that in mind. If you've been a long-time viewer, you'll know that I rely on Grams 28 for my everyday carry, with the 171 laptop sling being a staple in my setup. However, with my travel needs ramping up significantly, I needed something more versatile, so I upgraded to the Grams 28 152 Transit backpack. What I love most about it is the fact that it's lightweight, which means a lot for carry-on. Plus, it's perfect for weekend trips because it comes with a complimentary compression packing cube. The fact that I can fully open up the main compartment means I can organize everything however I like, with the laptop staying secure in a separate compartment. The quick access front and top pockets are very handy, so is the secret back one for my passport. Offering very similar amenities, the 151 Stealth backpack can serve as a great camera alternative, the main compartment offering movable dividers. Both backpacks are made from premium Italian leather and are crafted for travel. At the same time, they're super comfortable to wear, offering plenty of padding built into the straps. Now, if I want to go as lightweight as possible, the 157 Essentials sling covers all my needs, fitting a compact camera, or in my case the DJI Osmo 3 or my Insta360 Flow. With internal pockets for organization and a super satisfying heavy-duty buckle, this is yet another Grams 28 product worth checking out alongside the backpacks in the first link in the description below. As a backup earbuds, I carry the Samsung Buds 3, which are comparable to the AirPods 3 in terms of battery life and sound quality. At this point in life, I try to stay away from in-ear buds because I can't stand them for long. Funnily, these guys would start emitting a high-pitched sound from the right bud ever since I came back from my trips, and for a moment, I thought I had lost them, but a reset fixed the bug. Since I moved away from smartwatches, I have become a smart ring person. And after having tested the Samsung Ring and recently the Lunar Ring, I'm now back to the Ultra Human. It is a bit chunkier for my taste, but it does provide a lot of valuable information. What I'm interested in most is sleep and recovery and my daily activity, trying to stay on point in terms of late night indulgence and focusing on keeping my heart rate dropping as early as possible. If you want me to share my thoughts on the different rings that I've tried, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to post them in my newsletter. In terms of watches, I switch between the Casio G-Shock GM-B2100D1A I shared in my last video, and my new proud possession and a first-time Rolex for me, the Air King. This beautiful watch was actually a surprise gift from my brother for my 40th. As someone who never thought I would own a Rolex, I basically had two choices. Keep it in the box, as some people do, or carry it. The rest is history. Thanks, bro. With a focus on traveling as light as possible, my MacBook Pro primarily stays put in the studio. As my main editing machine, I might bring it at home to finish a project, but for everyday portability, I reach for the Asus ZenBook A14. You see, lightweight doesn't even begin to describe it. I practically lose it in my backpack. Powered by the Snapdragon X Elite and boasting insane battery life, it has become my ultimate writing companion. The keyboard and trackpad seem like they were made for me, and the effortless hinge still puts a smile on my face every time I lift it up with a pinky. Regardless of my EDC setup or the main device that I carry with me, one thing that I always keep in my bag or sling is some sort of a hub for two reasons. First of all, SD slots, because not all laptops have slots like this. And second, HDMI, which sometimes might come in handy. Whether I'm using the iPad Pro, a Windows laptop, or let's say the MacBook Air, one of those guys always comes in handy. In the case of this one, this is from Anker, but it could be any similar hub that you can pick online. I'll try to put some in the description below. More often than not, I also carry the ROG Ally X. I've gotten pretty fond of handheld games. On some of the 10+ hour flights, this little powerhouse was easily probably the most entertaining piece of tech, letting me sink hours into classics like Half-Life 2. Playing less demanding titles like this, by the way, puts minimal strain on the system, leading to battery life that can easily outlast the Switch. Being a bit old school myself, I also tend to keep it offline since none of the games I care about are multiplayer focused. Staying disconnected also has an unexpected perk. It almost makes me forget it's running Windows. With Armory Crate handling most of the experience, I get a much needed break from constant update reminders. Zoning out while gaming or writing is made effortless with the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones. Originally, I picked them up just for my January travels, wanting the best noise-canceling headphones that can also fold.
Battery 50%.
Even though I already own the AirPods Max, I needed something lightweight, collapsible, USB-C rechargeable, and of course, equipped with a 3.5mm headphone jack. And let me tell you, I'm so glad I grabbed those headphones. Connecting to in-flight entertainment was seamless, and the total isolation they provide is next level. Honestly, if they sounded terrible, I'd still pick them up for the noise cancellation alone because it's super impressive. But thankfully, they sound amazing. My only gripe is that they're absolute fingerprint magnets, but I'm willing to swallow that. Multi-point connection is yet another major plus, which I'll dive into next week. One thing is for sure, these headphones will never leave my backpack from now on. So, one thing I learned this time around is to always bring one of those, a portable power bank. This one is from Ugreen and it stands out for two key reasons: a massive 25,000 mAh capacity and an impressive 200 watt output. That's a lot of power for such a compact little chunkster. You see, when we got stuck in London last month waiting for a full day for the next flight, I had zero UK power adapters or converters on hand, meaning there was no way for me to charge my devices. Thankfully, with the help of this power bank, actually the smaller sibling, I managed to top up all my gear and still had juice left. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend carrying these daily, though I do, but it's an absolute must-have for longer trips or unexpected layovers.
In terms of cables and a charger, I carry a Ugreen 100 watt one because this one specifically is very compact and it has two ports or two USB-C ports on the back and one USB-A. And I don't think I need more than that because during all my travels, I relied on just two cables that are tied together so that one side fits flush on the back of the charger and the other side of both can charge pretty much all my devices. And I do that on a rotation principle. Now, as a backup, just in case, because sometimes you might have to deal with a lightning port or something, I still carry those Nomad keychains, I think they're called. One of them is USB-C to Lightning and the other one is USB-C to USB-C. Very handy when in a pinch and super compact.
When it comes to miscellaneous essentials, as I mentioned, I always carry a secondary wallet for non-vital cards. This extra one is made from buttery soft vegan leather and holds up to 12 cards, all easily accessible via its ejection mechanism. As expected these days, it is also RFID protected for added security. Tucked away in the hidden compartment of my backpack is perhaps the most important travel essential as well: passport, securely cocooned in an AirTag passport case. Given that it's the most valuable document, it only makes sense to give it its own dedicated tracker. But out of all my miscellaneous EDC items, one that constantly stands out is this rolling square air card, my third tracking device in the lineup and an absolute must-have.
Now, you might be saying, wait a second. A second? And yes, I in fact keep yet another AirTag hidden, this time in the sling, concealed in this diskette type of thingy, just in case I decide to leave the backpack behind and travel light with the sling itself.
So the rolling square card is super handy when it comes to tracking abilities, but more so for its business card integration, something that always stands out when I travel and introduce myself. People can simply tap or scan the built-in NFC to land on my website or any URL I desire, or simply scan the QR code up front for the same result. One item that will also remain permanent in my backpack is this very specific Ugreen laptop stand, which now plays a pivotal role in my portable desk setup, which I talk about in this video right here. Like and subscribe to the channel as well as my newsletter, and as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is Z, over and out.